Okay, so my name is Gaby, and we're going to be speaking about setting up your own camp Logowear store. So first, just a short introduction about me and my company. So our company is called Pack4 Camp. My wife, Melissa, and I are owners and CEOs of the company. And we partner with summer camps across the US to offer campers everything they need for summer camp. So it starts with everything they need on their packing list, meaning that they can come onto our website and basically shop for camp in under one roof. And then we also host Logowear stores for our partner camps, where campers can order all the Logowear they need from our website, from the camp homepage. So what I'd like to do, I see we have about 4 camp professionals on the call. If you don't mind just doing a quick, we'll do a quick go around. If you can just tell me your name, your role in the camp, which camp you're representing, and just a little bit about what you do for Logowear today and where you see your needs around Logowear. So maybe Sarah, can we start with you?
Yeah, of course. Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah Seraphine. I work at Camp Homey Dakota. We're a summer camp for kids with type 1 diabetes, and we're located kind of outside Cleveland, Ohio. I'm the development manager, and we are not currently doing any Logowear other than when the kids get t-shirts in the summer. And that's kind of a need that we want to fill. So we're hoping to do maybe like a little campaign before Christmas. So like in November, where people can purchase just a few little items. They can use it for Christmas gifts, and I don't know, we'll kind of see where it goes from there, but those are our needs.
So you don't sell anything at camp, it's more just giving out the camp t-shirt.
They have like a little, I forget what it's called, like a little camp store, but they just get like stress balls and Gatorade and like little tchotchkes.
It's a sleepaway camp or a day camp?
Yes, sleepaway.
Okay, cool. Okay, thanks, Sarah. Alexis?
All right. Hello. Happy Monday, everyone. My name is Alexis Newsome. I am the camp director at Sherwood Forest. We are a year-round youth development agency, but we are anchored in our residential sleepaway summer camp, beautiful Southeast Missouri. Cool. And we do, like, our current Logowear is just local vendors. So it's often quite expensive and limited quantities of designs and things. So we would love to have a store, if you will, online that our campers and staff, and even we have a pretty big alumni base that could also utilize that and get some Sherwood merch and some gear.
Cool. The local when you say local vendors, are they selling it online, or you're just purchasing it from them and selling it at a camp?
It's a variety of things. Some of them we get online for, like, your 4 imprint or what have you, or we go with like a parent who has a local Etsy shop type of thing.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure. And finally, Kristen?
Sorry. Hi, I'm Kristen. I work at Peaceful Kingdom. We are located in Killeen, Texas. We are a year-round camp for kids with special needs. And we have a very limited camp store since COVID hit. So we sell, we just bought some water bottles and some t-shirts with our camp logo on it to sell in our camp store this summer. But we have been looking at ways to add more things to our camp store and to get it online. So we buy things from our local vendors and sell them at our camp store, but it's very limited at the moment.
Okay, thank you for that. It's just nice to know who's on the call and what your needs are. I'll continue with the presentation. And basically, I'll spend a few minutes just introducing the concept of the different models of putting up a Logowear store and what we offer at Pack4Camp. And then I'll do a short demo where you'll actually see it in action. So firstly, why do camps actually, why should you care about Logowear? What is special about it? So just very quickly, and I'm sure you've all thought of these issues or these items. So there's the camp pride and identity. People want to, the closer they are to the camp, they want to be walking around with, displaying their logo on their clothing, on their t-shirts, on their mugs. And it also really connects them to camp. A few of you mentioned COVID, and interestingly, obviously we didn't have many sales of camp gear during COVID because most camps were closed, but a lot of camps did actually put their Logowear out there, and it was a way for people to kind of connect to camp while not going to camp. So there is that aspect of, people feel that kind of belonging. Beyond that, there's also, the marketing and the image. You want your logo, your camp to be out there when people are walking around with it and wearing it. The word is getting out. Some camps also see it as a fundraiser, meaning that you can also make some extra money off selling the Logowear. And also it's basically a service to campers. A lot of campers just want to wear this stuff, and as camp professionals and wanting to kind of facilitate the needs of the campers, so making the Logowear accessible to them is also a service to them when that's what they're looking for. So these are sort of different reasons that people are interested in Logowear, and you might connect to one or more of these items. I know that, like, in the way that people use Logowear stores, there's also other creative ways that people use it in terms of, for example, early bird registration. So if you're doing an early bird deal for campers, you can have them like get a discount off the store or get a coupon off the store. People also use it for alumni relations. Some of you mentioned alumni that you have that are interested. So you can at different times of year provide coupons or just promote it amongst the alumni and also strengthen the connection with them. So what are some of the challenges of selling online? And probably all of you will identify at least one of these reasons why you came on this call to begin with, because the idea is nice to have your Logowear out there, but then there are a lot of questions and challenges that people ask around starting an online store. So for example, there's the inventory question. How many do I order? I don't know if I'm going to sell anything. What if no one wants to buy my t-shirt with my new logo? So, what do I keep in stock? There's so many sizes, so many colors. So that's one of the first challenges. The second challenge is logistics. How do I even go about setting it up? Am I supposed to maintain a website now? Who's going to do it? Do I have the resources and the staff to do something like this? Then there's storage. I can't tell you how many camp directors I've spoken to or camp professionals who are sitting on a basement full of old t-shirts that they never got to sell. And they don't really want that around, I mean, it's one is nice, two is nice, but not 100. Then there's the delivery. Okay, so I've started my camp store. I've got all the inventory. How am I going to ship out every order? I'm not a postal service. I'm a camp. I run educational programming for kids. I don't want to be bothered with shipping out orders when they come in. And then there's the cost. What are the costs involved? Am I going to make money from this? Am I going to lose money? So these are the typical questions we hear and the typical challenges that people face when trying to create an online store. So typically there are three models. I think you all mentioned some of them, or hybrid of some of them. So there are camps who decide to do this in-house, meaning that you build your own website, you handle all the logistics, and it's basically like your own fully run store. Someone from within the camp is running it, all the technical side, everything. So there are camps that take on the whole project themselves, and they have to then deal with all those different challenges which we spoke about earlier. Then there's what's known as a pop-up store. So a lot of local vendors will go with that model, where they'll take a specific type of year. Say you want to do a Christmas store. So around the holiday season, your campers will be allowed to order until a certain date. And then based on on the orders that came in, the stuff will be printed and sent to the people who ordered it. That usually also requires minimums. So, when you set up a pop-up store, usually you're going to have to commit to a minimum of X amount of each item that you're selling. Finally, there's print on demand. That's mostly what we're going to focus on because that's a model that we offer. And that is completely outsourced to the vendor, but it's a store that's available year-round, and you only print when ordered. So I'll speak about this a bit more, and we'll look at a comparison in the next slide. But the idea of print on demand is that only when someone places an order do you print the t-shirt or the socks or the mug or whatever it is. So no one's holding any inventory, no one's trying to guess who's going to order what. And there's really no risk involved because you can put up lots of items on your store. If no one buys anything, nothing happened because there was nothing printed. So the idea is that when they order it, it gets printed and shipped directly to the customer. So if we look at the different challenges we spoke about and the different models and how we relate to each of those. So in terms of outsourcing logistics, packing, and delivery, if you're a camp, you don't want to deal with that. So if you do it in-house, you don't get that benefit because you do have to deal with all of that. However, if you do either a pop-up store or print on demand, all the logistics is outsourced. You don't have to worry about building the website, packing it up, delivering it. That's all dealt with by the vendor. The second item is no need to guess what to order in advance. Every camp director's nightmare is what do I get of each size? How many of each color? How many people are going to buy or how many am I going to have to give out? So again, in-house, you do have to do that because you're taking on the whole project. But both with a pop-up store and print on demand, there's no guessing because you only sell what is ordered. Now, in terms of required minimums, so it's only with print on demand that there are no required minimums because, like I said, if someone orders one t-shirt is printed and received by the customer. In terms of storing inventory, again, in-house, you'd have to store it. With a pop-up store, you generally don't have to store it, but you may be stuck with, if you committed to a certain minimum and you didn't sell them, so you may be stuck with some extras. And once again, with print on demand, you're not storing anything because it's being printed and sent directly to the customer. Another big advantage of print on demand is that it's open all year round. So it's not just during camp, it's any time of year someone wants to get, your alumni wakes up in February and they want to get a t-shirt, the store is open. When you do that in-house, technically that's possible, but you need the human resources to actually do that. And lastly, around can I make money off my Logowear store? So yes, you can. So for example, our company gives 10% commission on every item that's sold. When you do it on your own, there is potential to make a higher margin, but there's also a lot more risk and cost involved. You might invest in 1,000 t-shirts and only sell 100, and then you may lose a lot of money. Or you actually have to, if you're employing someone who is running the website, so you might be making money off the t-shirt sales, but you're paying someone to run all of this. So in terms of profit versus risk, when you do it in-house, you have potential for higher margins, but it's a much higher risk. With pop-up stores and print on demand, the margins are typically lower, but the risk is either moderate or no risk at all. Before I move on to the demos, are there any questions at this point? Okay. So I will. Okay, so this is Pack for Camp. This is our website. And first and foremost, it is a place where campers can come and buy everything they need for summer camp. So if it's on your camp list, it is probably here, from the trunks and bags, the labels, the storage, the laundry, bunk essentials, the whole works. Now, when we partner with camps can basically create a homepage. So we have a list of all our different partners. And then you can search for your camp. So I'm going to look at a camp called Bucks Rock. And when you click into that camp, their homepage opens. So the partner camp has their own homepage on the Pack for Camp website, where they have a link to their Logowear store and a link to their packing list, which I can show you later, but it's basically everything that's on the camp packing list mapped to the items that we have on our website. That is not the logoed gear. That's just the general gear that they would use for camp. But I will go now into the Logowear store, and we'll have a look at what that looks like. Welcome, Melvin. I see we have a new person on the call.
Thanks, guys. I just saw it and I thought, well, I better jump on real quick or I'm gonna miss everything.
Okay, I'll give you the 30-second fill-in. We're basically looking now at a demo of what the Logowear store looks like when it's hosted by Pack for Camp, but I'll talk about that further. And if you have questions at the end, please feel free to ask. Which camp are you with, Melvin?
Texas 4-H Center.
Okay, very cool. Okay, so I'm now going to look at the actual, so this is the Bucks Rock Logowear store. So as you can see, they have the header is kind of customized for their camp. So the camp sends us the logo and the background picture. And then these are the items that they've chosen to put on their store. So I'll show you in a minute how that works in terms of setting this up. It's a very simple process, but they've chosen to have a few t-shirts, a couple of hats, socks, and basically, as I was saying at the beginning, someone who comes onto the website, they'll go, this is their URL for Bucks Rock. They'll go into the t-shirt, and it works like any website. They'll choose the color, choose the size, add to cart, and once they order the t-shirt, it's printed and delivered to their address. That whole process usually takes up to 10 days. So from the time they order, within 10 days, they'll normally have the item. In the holidays, it's a little bit longer because there's a lot going on in the industry. So we generally suggest that if you're doing like a holiday store, to allow people like 3 weeks to place the order to ensure that it gets there on time. It normally gets there sooner, but most of the year you're talking up to 10 days and sometimes even less. But the point is that not a single t-shirt is printed until it's ordered. So you can have this beautiful item sitting on the website. If no one buys it, nothing happens. It's just a picture on the website. And as soon as they order it, it's printed and sent to the person who ordered. Now, how do you go about setting up a store? So on our website, we have a Logowear catalog, okay? And the catalog has all the different items. So this is, for example, the most popular items you've got. It's funny because people like seeing like the mugs and the socks and everything else, and we have all those things, but still what's most popular is the t-shirt and the sweatshirt and the zip hoodies. Those are the things that really sell the most. But if you look through the catalog, you'll see lots of different types of stuff. So there's lots of different types of t-shirts. There's a tie-dye t-shirt and the ringer t-shirt. There are sweatshirts, bottoms, headwear. There's also the swags and accessories. So you've got like the mugs, the enamel mug and the coffee mug and the flip-flops and the stickers. So the way we work with printing on demand, not everything is eligible to be printed on demand. So if it's in our catalog, you can print on it. If there's something that is not in our catalog, you can always ask about it, but it's not always something we can offer. So we can always check if we can offer it. But there's a lot of stuff on the catalog that allows you to do a lot with the store. There's also stuff like with having like the alum in mind, like the baby wear and stuff. That's a nice item to put if you're appealing to the camp families and not just the campers themselves. So basically, if a camp is interested in setting up a store, so the process is very simple. They go through the catalog. We'd have a meeting. I'll send you an email with the different requirements. You go through the catalog and you choose the items you want. So you say, I want this t-shirt, a sweatshirt, a mug, socks, and I don't know, a pair of shorts. And then you send us the designs. The designs can be multicolored because it's digitally printed. So the amount of colors is less of an issue. And you can have multiple designs. So, you know, if you go look back to Bucks Rock, they've stuck with one simple design, but you can see that it's a slightly different logo here. There's more writing, that's without the writing. There's different colors, but we have some, you know, we have plenty of stores where there's 3 completely different designs, different colors. So basically you go through the catalog, you select the items, you send us the graphics, you tell us where you want the graphics on the items. So you might want it across the middle or the left pocket, and we go ahead and set up the store. It's pretty much that simple. In terms of cost, there is no cost to the camp. So there's no maintenance cost, no setup cost. And the camp gets 10% on every purchase. So if you sell a t-shirt for $14.99, call it $15, the camp gets $1.50 commission. Very straightforward. There's no sort of long-term commitment, there are no minimums. The model is very simple. We build you the store. We benefit from people coming onto our website and buying the items. You benefit from those commissions, and by having that service available 24/7 year-round. In addition, you can always make changes. So you might have, let me show you another example of Camp Mini Canny. So last year, for example, for the holidays, they sent us a kind of a holiday design for this crew neck. So you can come at any time, add a new item, add a new design, or you might want to take something down. You might say, okay, this was our like 50th year logo. It's no longer relevant. Let's take it down. So there's always the flexibility of being able to email us with any changes you want. We make the changes. And it's available for your campus. Typically speaking, if you decide tomorrow that you want to start a store, so I would send you all the details. We'd have a little discussion. I'd send you all the details of what we need. You would then, once you send us the logos and your choice of items, it's generally a couple of weeks turnaround, and we can have the store up and running. So if for those of you who want to have a store up and running already for the holidays, it's definitely doable. We'd have to start the process soon so that everything can be set up so that you can already start marketing it, let's say from the beginning of November, to give people enough time to order. But it's a pretty quick turnaround once we have all the material that we need from your end. I think I can open the floor to questions at this point. And then we can continue. So any questions?
I have a question.
Sure.
Is there an option that where like if they need it within like 7 days or something, that is there an option that they can pay more shipping and get it sooner, or is it flat rate shipping?
It's pretty much flat rate. The thing is that it depends. If you're talking about, this is all the Logowear, the general items that we have on our website. Let's say someone comes on and they want to buy a bag for camp, so we can get that out really quickly. With these items, because it's first being printed and then sent, there's not, even if they pay extra, so it might save them, it might save them a day or two of the shipping, but the shipping is pretty quick, and there's also production, but it's never that long. So typically, like I said, it's about a week. But around the holidays, just because there's so much, not just, we're working with different partner companies. So because there's so much activity and the postal services and everything else, so we do advise camps to allow for longer if people have a specific deadline around the holidays.
Okay, I was just wondering. I think that sounds reasonable. I just didn't know.
Oh, and in terms of, you reminded me, I didn't mention the shipping costs. So first of all, anyone who spends over $150 on the website is free shipping. The most you'll pay for shipping is $11.95, but we do have sort of a graded scale so that if you're just buying a t-shirt, then it's $4.95. So we try keep it as reasonable as possible, especially if it's like a much smaller basket. So, we're not going to slap you with $12 shipping. Any other questions? Sorry, Melvin, if yeah, you're on mute.
Hey, so we've just been talking about this for the past couple of weeks. We're looking at several different options.
Yes.
We have a camp store on site for when we have campers. And we are looking at maybe doing a camp care package, several different levels, and an online store so that we can increase sales all year long.
Okay.
Sounds like what you're proposing in the short time that I've been here works for that 24/7 online store, but maybe not linking it to our bricks and mortar store, or doesn't look like you have an option for like a camp care package. Is that correct?
Yeah, so we do. I mean, we do partner with printers we could put you in touch with for those camp care packages, but you're correct in that where our specialty lies is having that 24/7 store, and it is not mutually exclusive to working with your local vendors for the camp store. So a lot of camps we work with, they know what works at camp, and they've got that down, and they're selling the stuff at camp. But they do want to have it around. They want to have some of the stuff available year round. It might not be the same stuff, but they want to give that option to campers. And it's not always that simple to use your stuff that you're selling at camp, then to sit there to have someone in the office sitting and packing it and putting it online is a mission.
Exactly.
A lot of camps don't want to deal with. So this kind of gives you, we don't say to you, oh, you're you're building an online store, so like you have to work with us for your, it's the other way around. This is where we specialize. And we're giving it, so in your case, it's that extra layer of, okay, come to camp, buy what you want at camp. You want to buy something in February, go on the site, and these are the items we offer. And it's also a way for you can also test different items, because you're not actually like printing anything beforehand. You can try a few logos and see what's popular, and then have that logo in your physical store afterwards.
So with 4-H programming, we actually have a ton of different other programs other than just our camp. We have shooting sports, we have livestock, and all these different things. And we're trying to figure out how to work with our nonprofit 4-H Foundation so that we can generate revenue for all those programs. Sometimes our shooting sports people will just come in and let a t-shirt vendor do screen printings right at a large facility. But I'm thinking that if we all put our logos together and sell online, then they're available for everybody. So you're not limiting us to how many logos you can do, or is there a limit?
Right, so that's a good question. Until now, there hasn't been a limit. We are looking at models where we may say, like, start with X amount of logos, see how the sales go, and then we'll gradually increase. But that's definitely something we could discuss. At the moment, there are no limits. It is something we're kind of like working with, because there's a difference between setting up a store with, let's say, 20 items and 2 logos, or 200 items and 10 logos. So, and there may be something that we say, yes, we can do that, but at price X. So that's really a model we're working on, but it's definitely doable. And what we have done for a number of camps, I can show you one example when you have a few camps under the same organization. Here we have the Denver Area Council, BSA. So you'll see this is their homepage, and they have 3 different camps, right? They've got their Adventure Point, NYLT, and Tahosa. And then each one has a separate store. So they've got their homepage with, pointing you to the different ones. And then when you come into this one, this is specifically for the youth leadership will have their particular items. So that could be similar to what you're speaking about. Any other questions? How's this looking to you?
Yeah, it looks good. there's no cost to us up front?
Nothing.
Hmm,
No, it's not like there's like the secret cost that you find out about it.
Like fine print, yeah.
No, there's
Okay,
no cost at all.
awesome, yeah. I don't have any questions. It seems very straightforward, so.
Okay, cool. Who haven't we heard from? Sarah, the question, Kristen?
I do not have any questions at the moment.
Okay, great. Okay, so I want to go back to the presentation. And basically, so how do we get started? If you are interested in doing something like this, so I'll put this link in the chat. Basically, you would set up a meeting with me on Zoom. We'd have a one-on-one just to discuss like you got most of the idea from this webinar, but we'd have a small chat to talk particularly about your camp and your needs. And then I would go ahead and send you an email with everything you need to set up your store. And then you'd go ahead and send that. There's a registration form so that we have your details on file. And then you'd send us we'd send you an email outlining everything you need to send us, including going through the catalog and the logos, and then we would turn around and set it up. And obviously you'd look at it first, make sure that you're happy with how it looks before it goes live. And then it would be live and ready to market to your campus. So let me put this in the
I do have one quick question.
Oh, go ahead.
It's also the same question Melvin put in the chat. Is this recording available? Just because I will need to show it to development, who is like over our branding, and I'm not trying to get on their bad side. So I just want to make sure that they know before we go with it, if this is what we want to do. Is that something that you can share with us?
Yeah, absolutely. I've recorded the session and I'll send it to you. I'll email you the recording afterwards.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Sure. So I just put in the chat a link to set up an appointment with me. If you sign up by the end of this week for a call, so that will probably mean, assuming that you choose a slot that's sooner rather than later, that we'll be able to set up your store in time for the holiday season. And we'll also provide you with a free t-shirt with your camp logo once that store is set up. I will email you after this call with all the information that we just, with a summary of what we discussed. Also, if you just want to skip the Calendly call and get started, I can also just send you all that information, and you can go ahead with that.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. Happy Monday.
Sure, you too.
Yes, thank you. This was very, very helpful.
My
Yes, it was.
pleasure.
Thanks. Bye, folks.
Feel free to drop if anyone else has any questions. I'm still here.